special good morning to those of you listening to Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9 on the FM dial. Those of you viewing GBN TV, wherever you are viewing Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 20, good morning. Thanks for being with us this morning. It's to the point for today. Friday is the 3rd day of January 2025. How's everybody doing this morning? You got up, you feeling A-okay, you're ready for the challenges that's ahead of you for the rest of the day today. And certainly hope that sort of the challenges that will come about will, of course, you'll be able to take care of those challenges and move forward into another day feeling good about yourself and whatever you may have accomplished today, and of course looking forward for the week upcoming. All right, let me say good morning to those of you via social media platforms. Good morning to you. Facebook page, YouTube channels, good morning. GBN's webpage, gbn.gd, good morning to you and thanks for being with us this morning. Hey folks, we have an open line for you this morning, 4352041, and someone will say, I'm all ears this morning. I want to hear from you this morning, our listeners and viewers out there, in terms of issues that you may like to speak about. We're moving into a brand new month. It's the 3rd day of a brand new month and also a brand new year. Yeah, just 3 days old. The month of January and the year 2025. Just 3 days old. So let's get the ball rolling this one. Not sure who's going to kick it off, but the lines are opened and it's ready to, of course, and I'm ready to hear from you. The other listeners and viewers out there are also eager to hear your contribution this morning in terms of what's you looking forward to. Yeah, I haven't heard much from folks in terms of what they're looking forward to for 2025. A better Grenada. Yeah, even it's not that Grenada is not good as it is, but we hope for things to just improve and get better as the days and the weeks ahead of us and the months ahead of us comes along, and suddenly we see that growth that we all looking forward for in terms of our beautiful tri-island, of course, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. It's a wet morning out there, so I would appeal to the motoring public out there to please drive along with that due care and attention. Yep. There's some areas where the roads are not that favorable in terms of the little holes and stuff like that. I'm still being genuine in terms of how I say it, little holes and stuff. So looking for folks who may be walking along, and you don't want to get anyone all splashed and wet up this morning because, of course, you're not driving along and paying attention. And, of course, you don't want to damage your vehicle also by going into those holes. Sometimes they are a little bit unavoidable. All right, so I encourage you to drive along with that due care and attention. Once again, 4352041, and as I always say, there's double the options of you calling in. You have the option of calling via the WhatsApp, and also you can call me directly, 4352041. Let's hear from you this morning. Let's get that ball rolling off in terms of the conversation this morning, in terms of what you would like to speak about. You may come up with a particular subject matter that others may like to, of course, partake in, and of course that could lead to a broader perspective in terms of what you mentioned from folks. Someone may have an idea that is similar to yours, and they could certainly expand on that a whole lot this morning. So I'm all ears, as I mentioned this morning. I'm in that listening mood this morning, so I'll give you folks the opportunity to say what you have to say. Let's take our first caller. Caller, you are live. Good morning to you.
Good morning, JT, and how are you?
I am doing great. How are you this morning?
Hanging in the name of the Lord, thanking God for a new year, a new day, a new everything.
Good.
And all we want to do this year to live a living, loving life with God by our side. Peace, joy, love.
You can't go wrong by thinking that way.
But if you don't have love, you are nothing. Because love makes the whole world go round. And when you love somebody, you love the Lord Almighty Father. For He is the way, the truth, and the life, and He's the one that gives us life to live. He says, love one another, I have loved you. When you love everybody in the world, you live your life for God. Remember, it's the true God, the living God, and the one that breathes the life you live every day.
All right.
I want all Grenadian people to show some more love. Respect the elderlies. When they walk in the street, don't push them. And don't push them one side, tell them they should stay home. They have time in tongue because God gave us long life. And if you have long life and you live it with God by your side, and you take care of others, then He'll be taking care of you too. But if you don't live your life for God, then you are no way. Everyone, peace, joy, love, and put down the Satan instrument. Put the gun down. Pick up the Holy Bible and turn to God and pray. He says pray for one another, love one another, but the gun people pick up this is not right. It's not right in the sight of God. Too much gun, too much life taken. Too many people dying from this gun. The foreign peoples are doing too much. So many people, every day is a deadly shooting, a deadly accident, you cannot go nowhere. So just live a life for God. Put the gun down and pick up the Holy Bible and accept Jesus as your Savior. But He is the way, the truth, and the life. God bless you, GT.
And thank you also.
And all good to you to the rest of the year, 2025. Let us live in it with peace, love, and unity. Love one another. Love you, GT.
Love you too, Auntie. Have a good morning. Be good. Have a great weekend to come. All right?
All right. Yes, darling.
Okay, be good. 435-2041, 435. Let's go to the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, good morning, you're live.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you this morning?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Happy New Year to you. Can you hear me properly?
I'm hearing you pretty well. Go right ahead.
Listen,
for some reason you left us. For some reason, I'm not sure.
There?
Yeah, you're there. May have a little bit. We have a bit of a rainy morning. I know that maybe this probably hindering our connection a little bit. Go right ahead.
The line. Listen, I'll call back another time because the line is not so thin.
Okay, no problem. Let's go back to entertain another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Greetings, Mr. Telesford. Trust that all is well with you in your corner there.
Yeah, all is well, sir. Good morning to you.
Sorry. Thank you very much, sir. I have just about 3 issues briefly. They're all brief. Just to remind the government of Grenada of the obligation to the people of this here country. They seem to understand that when they take quote-unquote power, that they're doing the people of this country a favor, this here country a favor. They're wrong. I wish to inform them. Mr. Telesford, sir, I want to play something. It's the voice of the minister, what's the name again, boy? Anyway, of social development in December of 2022. When she promised the people of this here country, with all authority as a senator and as a minister, in the parliament debating the 2023 budget. The following, Mr. Telesford. Grenadians, listen well. And she went on, Mr. Telesford. A month after, in January 2023, the administration removed the $150. You get me, Mr. Telesford?
Yes, sir. I'm listening.
What is that really? It's deceit. It's hypocrisy, injustice. And go further, it says corruption and untrustworthiness. So I'm reminding this goodly individual that she has a duty to fulfill the promises made to the people. Whether she wants to call them poor and vulnerable, marginalized, hungry mouths. These were the adjectives used by the previous administration, but the fact is, she said she would continue in 2023 during the budget for 2023, and she withdrew it. Or they, withdrew it. We need fulfillment. We need honest people. People who can be held to their word. Just a reminder, and I told them already, that I shall play it until the day prior to the election, next election. Second thing briefly, Mr. Telesford. The Constitution of Grenada, Section 32, subsection 3 states crystal clearly in the last part of it that the voting shall take place in a manner as not to reveal for whom the elector votes. And I underline this word. I will prepare a recording of that too, so that the people listen to hear what the Constitution, written so-called Constitution we have says. Vote. Now, what does that tell you? That tell you that nobody other than the elector should go into the booth. Nobody else should see or know who that elector votes, whether that elector is a visually impaired or not. The verb in the present tense tells you that is an act, that the action of protecting the secrecy accuracy of the vote has to be, quote unquote, the Latin term, as the lawyers will tell you, a priori, meaning prior to or before. It doesn't say here that anybody can see who you vote for and then after that it is protected. No. I took the matter to court, and that mercenary called Dashung Ramdani and a judge called Glasgow threw aside my case. They refused to give me an opportunity to even talk and to defend my case. I'm warning the Grenada government that they don't know that they're violating the rights of the people with visual impairment to a secret ballot. They've been doing it for years. We've been talking about it and they're going to do nothing. About a year and a half or 2 years to come, we'll be having a new election. I want to guarantee that I want them to guarantee to us that we will have a secret ballot. And we have shown them ways that it can be done cheaply, rudimentarily. I'm calling on the new, what's his name again? PEO. Anyway, the chief of the parliamentary elections, Mr. I can't remember the name now. Anyway, I spoke to him personally. It is time that we start discussing this matter to get it straightened out so that the people with visual impairment can go into the booth and vote for themselves with nobody else knowing on a piece of paper, because there are ways to do it. I've introduced them to it. That is one. The third thing, Mr. Telesford, briefly as we run along. The United Nations have established a convention on the rights of people with disabilities for immediate implementation in 2008 up to today in Grenada. We still having problems because the people with disabilities cannot get their fundamental rights to all that they're entitled to under United Nations Convention. The government of Grenada is violating the UN Convention, and I'm calling upon them that it is time to start discussing this matter, in addition to many other matters that we have to put into place in this here country to guarantee the rights of the people. They boast about being democratic. What do they know about democracy? They're afraid of the word democracy. So I'm warning them, I'll be on their backs, not violently, because I don't ride on people's back. But when I say that, I mean figuratively. I'll hold their feet to the fire, figuratively. So that the people of this country with disabilities would have the full entitlement, the rights to accessibility, to lifelong learning. Not me that set it up, the United Nations, and we both have been members of the United Nations, for Christ's sake. These scribes and Pharisees. As Matthew 23 says, I mean, I'm not a preacher, but I read it and it is there. You know, people don't listen. The preachers don't preach on Matthew 23, you know, Mr. Telesford. No. But it says, it speaks of those, because it ends like, woe you beyond you scribes, Pharisees, hypocrites, that stand at the door, don't go in, but refuse to let others go in. Whitewashers of sepulchres filled with dead men's bones. People watch evil and call it good, and vice versa, Mr. Telesford. It is time in this here country we start putting things in place so that the people, entire population, can be guaranteed their rights. That is what this is all about. It's not for a few people because you quote-unquote sequester the quote-unquote power. For what it's worth, Mr. Telesford, on an even more serious note, I'll be back on the next occasion. Do have a nice day, will you?
You too, sir. Have a good morning. 435-2041. We do have a caller via the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, good morning and welcome. And you're live.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes. I got a call from CPA yesterday. That's the Child Protection Authority or whatever it is. I have a grandson in hospital who is sick, malnourished. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm a senior citizen. My daughter died. That child grew up with me 15 years. My daughter died last year. August was 1 year. So that child had to go to his father, who remarried. He had divorced my daughter and remarried again. So that child had to go to his father because I had a broken knee and I had to do an eye operation. So I couldn't really look up then. When I got a broken knee, all my relatives had to do is just send that child to the father because I couldn't do anything. I was on crutches for some time, and then I had to do it. CPA called me yesterday and was asking me if I was able to look after that child. Now, let me tell you something. That child was with the father from February the 11th, 2024. I could not have seen that child. He's not responding to me. The child had to have surgery. The child didn't have surgery. The child had to go for MRI in the States, couldn't do it. He's not corresponding to me. But I usually get seed program money from the government. I go to the sister and gave the sister the money every month to give the guy. CPA called me the first time after I told them about the father was not looking after the child, only to tell me that the child wanted Pampers. So I asked them if I, as a grandmother, obligated to bring Pampers. I did not hear anything else from them again. I went to the States because I have a problem. I have more or less I had a problem. I came back in October. 3 days after I came from US, they called me and tell me that they closed the case. So I asked them which case. They told me that I brought up a case where I was with Caleb, and then the father has the child. Okay, so that's okay, right? Now, yesterday, they called me. I want them more or less to go to the hospital and look at that child and see the condition of that child. And as a senior citizen, I want to know if I could do anything for that child in my state where I am. They're saying that they have no space at the house. They went to the house, but I never knew that. They went to the house and no space. So I don't know if they want me to get a space for that child in his father's house. I would really like them to do something better. That child is an autistic child, and I and other people are supposed to be a voice for that child. I have 6 words for these people. God is watching. Nothing goes unpaid. For everyone who has treated that child so bad, God is watching. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. There's not much I could say in relation to that, but it's an issue that may seriously need to be looked into. 435-2041. It's an open line this morning here on the program, folks. It's to the point for today, Friday. It's the 3rd day of January within the year 2025. And I'm looking at a comment from someone on the WhatsApp, and he's saying, we must look at what a government does for the general good of the country and not just for personal gains. If they tell us to fulfill every personal interest, they will fail. Looking at a bigger picture beyond self is a kind of maturity. That's a comment here from someone on the WhatsApp. Let me see if I can grab another comment before we entertain another call. Right, this one seems to be of a different nature, so I will not, of course, read that out. So let's take that break. When we come back, we take more of your calls here on the program this morning. It's to the point here on Classic Radio GBN TV. We'll be right back after the break. Don't touch it out. Don't touch it out.
For 30 years, we've been driven by a commitment to our customers and to continuously improving our standards of quality.
Through every success and challenge, your support remains unwavering.
That loyalty has inspired us to listen, learn, and return with a renewed commitment.
We've taken important steps to ensure that your health and safety remain top priority.
And each bottle is a reflection of our promise to deliver the highest standards of quality.
As we move forward, we want to thank you for always standing by us.
We are honored and extremely grateful to be back. Thanks to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and cheers to 30 more years.
Looking to take your business to new heights? Advertise with GBN on our social media platforms and get noticed by our 138,000 plus followers. Reach a massive engaged audience ready to connect with your brand. No matter your business size, GBN is here to help you grow. Contact us today at admin@gbn.gd or WhatsApp 407-8458 to get started.
What I would like to say to our Caribbean basin, we are living in times where we face challenges that come our way we have not prepared for. Sometimes we are not aware these challenges will appear, but they are here. What is important is all of us working together. From the family, there must be that support network.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. It's Friday, the 3rd day of January, folks, 2025. It's an open line edition of To The Point this morning. And let's go directly to the phone line, see what this caller has to offer. Caller, good morning, and you're live. Good morning.
Oh, yes, good morning to you, Doc. Once again, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you this morning?
Well, just quiet, you know.
All right.
You have a great day and continue enjoying a good year. No, not only your program, but listening to many programs, I'm getting to realize that we are breaking down fast socially through our economic situation. I want to beg our authorities and the government more so to please pay attention to the state of the economy. They know what they have to do. Pay attention to the economy with a view to taking care of the nation's citizens. We cannot continue running this country with loans and high prices. We are going to break down. This country is going to collapse on us. We are taking this thing as a joke, you know, when we have some people suffering and some people is maybe enjoying a good time. That's not the way we need to go. We need to take care of all of the citizens. We're breaking down socially. And if we're not careful, this country is going to go to waste. That's the reason why I talk about the economy, and I about giving it up, because sometimes you get tired knowing what to be done, what can be done, and it's not being done. It's hurtful. We're looking and seeing the society deteriorate, and we're not doing what we're supposed to do. It is putting people to work. Let them have earnings so they could spend. Everybody. Loans will bring high food prices, high cost of living. And that is going to cause the country to break down.
So could I ask you a question? Yeah, I mean, I've listened to you over the years, of course, calling, and you always seem to have that great interest in the economy of Grenada and our sister islands in general. What do you take is really wrong with the economy in Grenada today? If you could just give me an answer in a general terms.
The economy is not producing wealth. It is not producing wealth. If it's not producing jobs, it's not producing wealth. Look, we have a social safety net that is widening. You're taking the consolidated fund and pay it out to people on a monthly basis. That should go to infrastructure and the productive sector of the economy. That goes into foodstuff, sardine corned beef, spaghetti macaronis. That is extorting monies. This don't remain in the economy. This is imported food items. We have to get, let me say it this way. Agriculture, real estate, the tourism sector, light manufacturing, the building industry, the service sector. Those are the sectors that produces the revenue. We have to get these sectors going. They are too flat because our expenditure side, which is paying teachers, police officers, nurses and doctors, and the rest, subvention to international organizations, outweigh our revenue. That's why we go into a deficit. You see, we can't avoid the expenditure because we have to pay people. We have to pay civil servants. But what is bringing in the money to pay? The sectors that should bring in the money is flat. It's not producing. And once you're doing that, let me tell you something. The whole society is going to break down. We are in a serious financial problem. And that's the reason why we're breaking down socially. And it's my number one start is the infrastructure, in tourism, in the roads for new building, the expansion of the business sector, creating better commerce. You could put people to work, put them to job, give them good salary so they could spend. I will start there because we want room for new commerce and we want a higher population. So what program could we use or do to bring back our nationals overseas who have some money to come back here to engage in creating jobs and maybe starting new businesses?
All right. Thank you, sir.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate your contribution as always. 435-2041. We go to the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, good morning. You're live.
Hello again, JT.
Good morning.
You all right?
Yes, I'm all right. I'm all right. Let's hear your contribution, please.
I called earlier on and it was a bit distorted. Listen, I have two things. Let me take my time on that, right? Now, in Grenada, 50 years of independence, right? I never know Grenada to be so advanced under the man who's Prime Minister now, Mr. Deacon Mitchell, right? Now, Grenadians needs to listen to him and watch what he's doing, right? He's doing a lot for the country, little and fast, right? We shouldn't go by a party. We should go by the person who's in government now, who's doing good for the island, the country, right? That's what we should go by. They shouldn't go for Island Pier, they shouldn't go for Deacon. Just go for the person who's doing really good for the island, and he's doing really, really well, right?
Okay.
So we need to stop mourning and look at the good what he's doing. Really good. The other thing I'm gonna point out, let me take my time on this again. There's a lot of foreigners, like myself, Grenadian foreigners living in the diaspora who wants to come back to Grenada to live. Now, building house is a thing of the past, right? Because there's no more land left.
I think we may have lost the caller there for some reason. Yeah. We lost you there for a wee bit. We lost you there for a second. Yeah.
Taking the money and sending it down to builders and they're getting ripped off. So that is a thing of the past, right? Now, what is a thing of the future for our Grenadians who's got a house, just like they do for the student, right? There's a lot of student accommodation available, and that is on an increase, and there's a market for that. But also, Grenadians need to remember there's Grenadians who wants to come back, like myself, and to live down there, but I don't want to build, I want to rent. Now, I've got a place now. A man with a extension to his house is renting me a 3-bedroom house with kitchen and bathroom and all kind of thing like that. There's money there to be made. There's a lot of Grenadians with big house. I sat in the house Some of them can't even go upstairs. You know, and some of them have downstairs. And no, listen.
I'm liking your idea, but it's left up to the individuals of wanting to do that.
I know. But if they want to make money, they're complaining. They could make money. There's a lot of money down there to be made. I just tell you.
I understand where you're coming from 100%. But as I mentioned, it's left up to the individuals wanting to do that with their property.
But of course. But then they sit down there morning and they have this and that. There's a lot of money to be made in Grenada. Just have to put your idea and your mindset. And I'm giving that for free. You know what I mean? Because I coming down there and I go have my money coming from England and I could pay the rent. And they to mess nobody about. They're making money.
All right,
everybody
man.
Living.
Well, I hope I hope the individuals who are listening will put your ideas, of course, into practice, and hopefully, when you come back and if it's you actually want to do, you do not want to rent, you don't want to build a house, you prefer to rent, and certainly hope that idea could come out. All right, thank you a whole lot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have a blessed morning. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, your life. Good morning.
Morning, GT.
Good morning. How are you?
To your listeners and viewers. GT, I've always pleased to listen to you. I mean, you are better fresh air in terms of how you allow people to express themselves.
Go right ahead.
Anyway, I mean, sometimes I wonder, what have happened to us if we have become blinded. You know, prior to the invasion, Grenada was on a trajectory where we were trying to deal with the social disparities and so on, economic disparity. We were invaded by a mighty power, which we are told 95% of the population endorsed and even blessed the invader. Up till now, we still have a holiday in there on October 25th. And yet we don't understand what we have agreed to allow to ourselves. Everything that has been done since that time, or most of what has been done, has been to make us similar to the experience of Haiti. We've been punished for trying to rid ourselves from the legacy of slavery and colonialism, and neo-colonialism. And so when we are told to embrace the market, there's a price to pay. And the problem is that the majority of people pay the price. A few people, a small percentage of the population benefit enormously. So we are taught it's like an alcoholic. He's drunk. And we are told, and he then tells himself he will get better by drinking more and more. And as you know, what will happen? He will get cirrhosis of the liver, eventually he will die. Similarly, what is happening? We have been told to follow the capitalist path, to have foreigners come buy up our lands, and all of that. And we expect to think that thing will be much different. The fact is that one of the reasons why things are as expensive as it is because we are paying back loans that have been borrowed for decades now. While our people were fooled into believing that there was prosperity with whatever borrowed money that was being spent, and also some of the useless infrastructure that we build, which we are still paying back for, and sometimes double. In the case of the stadium, we are paying back for the stadium, the original stadium, even as I speak. So we have to understand. And then, of course, our productive sector. We didn't have the vision or the understanding that after we lost preferential treatment from the European Union, to marshal our people into become self-sufficient. In the case of Mount Hartman, where Israeli experts discuss it as like even the Garden of Eden, we have destroyed Mount Hartman and give it to fly-by-night people. And instead of encouraging the enhancing and the productivity of that area, it's no longer. And in many areas, we have put where it should have been kept into agriculture production. We have put in the housing. I mean, this thing called there was not coming where you sell houses. There's the 21st century, one of those companies where it's not coming to mind now, but we offshore banking, all those things, we have gone into those things which leave no return to us except embarrassment. So we have to understand. And the thing about the economy, the problem, you know, because when we worship the economy, instead of building our society and letting our society be normal, Ronald Reagan had said, America don't have a society where they have 300 and something million individuals. We are doing the same thing. We need to bring back society at the center of everything, and not the economy. Let the economy be the slave or the servant of the society. We're chasing down our shadow when we worship the economy. I will stop here.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it a whole lot. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning, and you're live.
Christ, peace with your witness. Yes, Mr. Telesford, I always say God bless the man who married to the mother of his children and provide for them based on his abilities and the resources he has. Marriage protects women. Marriage protects children. A stable marriage stabilizes society. Stable families give us stable society. And the practice of men just having children and they walking away and not looking back, causing a lot of young men to land behind bars. Because when a man have a child with a woman and he walks away, she doesn't have the means to provide for these children. Other men come in and exploit these children, so these children are abused, so they grow up hurting and they get in conflict with the law. But I want to suggest to the government, for every man out there who has children and they're not providing for the children, you know, we have a lot of Krongland line idle. Set up an offices around the island and let the women go in and register the names of the fathers of the children who are not providing. And whether it's clergyman, priest, clergyman, doctor, lawyer, teacher, policeman, whoever, they have their children, let them go and work the land for 2 hours a day. They have to go and work the land if they're not providing for the children. They cost to come in the world and they're walking away. The society must not, taxpayers' money must not be mined destroying. Free school book, free school lunch, free transportation, free this, free that. The foods from these farms could go into the school to feed the children. They sell the rest to marketing board. The monies that we get from marketing board could pay to fix the schools, pay for light, pay for maintenance, etc., etc., etc. Too many men are walking away. They go on a sex joyride, cause another human being to come in the world and don't care how they are provided for. And when the government go out there, the Prime Minister go out there looking for things to do, because the free school book has a cost to it, the free lunch has a cost to it, and when you go out there looking for things to develop the country, because they can't break the taxpayers' back, we don't have the industries. You cannot break the taxpayers' back to provide for everything that we need. When you go out there looking for things for the country, whether you have to beg or whatever, we complaining he only traveling, but he has to go out there. We want better roads, we want state-of-the-art hospital, we want everything. He has to go out there and beg. Right. But a lot of men are walking away.
All right, caller. Thank you so much. I realize you have a whole lot to say, but thank you so much for your contribution this morning. I appreciate it a whole lot. 435-2041. We're going to take another caller before we take a break. Caller, you're live. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning to you.
Happy New Year.
Same to you. How are you this morning?
Yes, very good, thanks. Very good. Just a couple of issues I'd like to bring up regarding to safety on our roads.
Sure.
I hope the traffic department is listening. We have some skips being carried on the back of the skip trucks, one on top of the other. So you have two skips on one truck, the second skip is higher than the cab in which the driver is carrying the skips. That couldn't be safe, right? It just could not be safe to have one on top of the other on our roads with the turns and twists. So I would really appreciate, I see them on the Grand Anse route, I would really appreciate if something can be done from the safety point of view. The second thing is, we have those Arctic 40-ton lorries that go to the port with somebody leading in a car with a red flag. What I noticed recently, and it may have been going on for a while, is that we have one driver in one car, one hand on the steering wheel, and one hand sticking out the window with the red flag to warn us as drivers that this 40-ton lorry is coming. That could not be safe. And you, driver myself, you need to have full control of your vehicle. You cannot have full control of your vehicle with one hand on the steering wheel and one hand sticking out the window. So from the safety point of view, I would really appreciate if something can be done. Again, I see them on the Grand Anse route because that's the route I apply. They're going past the police officers, they're going past the traffic wardens, nothing is being done. And for this year going forward, would be really nice if we have the safety of the road users taken more into account. Thank you so much.
Thank you a whole lot, and I appreciate your contribution. Great point, Cindy. They certainly hope the traffic department, as you mentioned, will certainly pay attention to those points and look into them. Folks, we drew for a break. Let's take it. When we come back after the break, we get into our final segment of the program this morning. I'm going to get to some of the contributions via the WhatsApp, some of the contributions that are made via the comment section of the Facebook. We're going to get to them when we come back, and then we're still going to take more of your calls. Stay with us. It's To The Point Classic Radio, GBN TV.
Looking?
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Coming up, these chefs and mixologists produce their creative best for their biggest party yet. This steel band has been making a difference for over 40 years. An island filled with beauty, a vibrant culture, and an iconic natural attraction. Now, where can this be? It's all next on this station.
Wait to see my granddaughter.
welcome back. Welcome back. It's to the point, the open line edition for today, Friday, the 3rd day of January within the year 2025. And we are, of course, taking your calls here on the program this morning. Also going to read your contribution via the WhatsApp or the Facebook comment section. Let's take this one from someone via the WhatsApp. They're saying, now the caller made a great point about the economy. We are not far away from starvation if the ports close and if there is an embargo on Grenada. We need to revitalize agriculture to the point of self-sufficiency. That's one contribution from someone via the WhatsApp. Let's go to the phone line and we come back with more of the comments. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Hi, good morning to you, GT. I think it's the first time for the year for me, so Happy New Year to you.
And same goes out to you, sir.
The GBN family and the country, and including the diaspora as a whole. I wish everyone a safe and blessed 2025. Last year we had a lot of tragedies. We started up with crimes, a lot of gun violence and other things of the sort. Then we had, of course, the hurricane, and then we had the flood. We lost lives, we lost property. Let's pray that this year would be a much better year in all respects. A couple of things quickly. I had a substantive one, but I'll forego it to respond to two callers. The lady who spoke about the danger on our roads. Well, I live that fear every day. Traveling on Grenada's road, whether it is a pedestrian, a driver, an occupant in a bus, it's like playing Russian roulette. It's just a tragedy, a major tragedy waiting to happen with these huge trucks. And with the containers and the rate at which they go, it's just a major tragedy waiting to happen. Heaven help us. Now, on the matter of the fathers, the men who don't father the children, it's something I've said many times, as I've always said. Whenever I hear of a violent crime or a young guy in trouble, or even a girl, I always ask, who is this child's father? And in many cases, they are not present in the life of that young person. As a man, I really feel really angry sometimes when I see what happens and how irresponsible our men are. However, GT, we can't only blame the men. And apart from the outside of the terrible case of rape, which is such a very terrible thing, most of these children are the result of willing, participating, and compliant women. When last I checked, men don't impregnate men. So I think the women have to also take responsibility. And I have not done the research, but I'm sure if you look at the number of persons in our society who have 5 children or more, I think there'll be more women with 5 or more children than men. So it means that in many cases, a woman is allowing several men over time to do that. So while I decry and deplore our men, I think we have to ask our women to take responsibility. In many cases, they are not. So it has to be, a full both-side approach. Both-side approach. Our women are just not being responsible enough. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Have a good day and a great weekend to come.
You're most welcome. Sure.
Folks, 435-2041, and let's take another contribution from someone via the WhatsApp. They're saying, I agree that men should look after their children, but women also have the responsibility. If a man does not look after 2 children, why are you going to give him a third? Let's go to the phone line. Caller, you are live. Good morning.
Thank you very much, President. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir.
My heart is saddened. I probably didn't want to partake in this calling of programs anymore, but when I listen to the plight of some people, well, as a matter of fact, I am not a disabled person, but I'm suffering with a disability. 4.5 years now, and promises, and last year it ended up very sad for me because I was insulted, by a few callers who choose to, talk about their bread, well buttered and whatnot, etc., and so on. I don't want to go down this track or continue, but let me just say here, on the 10th of the 10th of this year just gone, I was privileged to attend to the Caribbean Disability Conference for 2 days. Unfortunately or fortunately, I did meet with the minister, and she took my phone number. I haven't received a call from her as yet. No, I'm not going to criticize her or condemn her, but I think she has a real responsibility on her hands. There are many names that I have here, and the minister herself did mention of the United Nations Convention 2010 and ratified by the government of Grenada in 2014. I have this written here because I was present when I heard her make these comments and I took notes. There are a list of names that I have in my possession here. Dr. Noel, Dr. Nelson, even the Victor Clark, Andrew Sharp, there were 2 Sharps there, Tim Harris. There are a few people that I was present with, and I must admit I'm a bit confused. Because suffering here with a disability and the doctor's report, it saddens my heart. I just hardly want to read it. Mr. Andrews suffers with this above-the-knee cut, and he needs or would need assistance with mobility for the rest of his life. I mean, it's saddening to read that and to realize, I cannot walk. I'm trying here almost every morning with a pair of crutches. 4 or 5 times I fell and damaged with my ribs and whatnot, etc. So it's not that I'm not trying. I got a vision how to strap a seat, a cushion under my bottom and go out into my garden because I had no other choice. I have the food, I have lands and, I try to plant my lands and whatnot. But I hope that the minister or the entire government or even the acting prime minister, because as I said before, I have a letter here where, I wrote him and he invited me to come to him to see him because whatever it is. As secretary came out, I refused to go in to see him because when I got there and I saw the faces that were waiting to see him, I realized, well, all right, these people probably are a little bit worse off than I am. So I'll give them the privilege to do so, to see him. But a secretary came out and she did take whatever information, and she said that the minister promised that the minister says he's going to put me on the seed program. Now this is a problem that I have because I keep speaking about it. I didn't beg to be on the seed program, but I believe because of the doctor's report and because of my position, then I am qualified enough to be on the seed program. Now, there are those who are just waiting to, cut off my neck, talk about the, if I go back there, I try to be an honest person. I worked with a company in St. Paul's one time. I was accused of robbing money, stealing money, and whatnot, etc. And I have my facts here with me where I can defend myself towards that because, I'm wondering if that said individual was part of the idea of, I had to go to the Labour Commission, because I was so, listen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Have a good morning yourself. 435-2041, 435. Let me see if I could grab some of the contribution via the Facebook page this morning. There's a lot of contributions there. I hope I could get them in, those that I think is relevant to throw on air this morning. And let's take this one from Alfred. It said, our agriculture sector is just being revitalized. We had an administration who said his father worked the land his entire life and died poor. Now everyone has the solution for Grenada's agriculture. Wonder where these people were when were to advise the former administration that we should invest in agriculture. We do have another caller. Let's take that caller. Caller, you are live. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Yes. I think that people need to stop saying that to a young lady, get a man that could mind you. Parents been saying these things for too long, and that is why, to me, that is why the women getting pregnant and the children together with the women suffering, because this doctrine nature that they have in the head for the man to mind them. And sometimes, the man himself looking for help from the woman, that two of them could work together and build the family. So this, thing have to stop. Again, with the transportation for buses and so, I think as a result of lack of getting buses and so, that is why you have so much traffic on the road and you can't get to go where you're going, on time and stuff like that, When somebody cannot rely on the public transportation, they're looking to get 2 and 3 vehicles that whenever one is down, they're able to go with the other one and so, and that is what causing the problem to me in the traffic, because I looking to get a vehicle and maybe 2 just now too, because when I cannot rely on the public transportation, I want for when the one of my vehicle not working, I able to go to work and do whatever still, and have my flexibility.
All right.
If you understand.
All right, caller. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Have a good morning. And as I did mention this morning in the intro of the program, I said I'm giving everyone listening here this morning. I'm in the mood to listen to what folks has to contribute this morning, and certainly I've been doing that for the vast majority of the program this morning. Let's go back to the line this morning. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning, and you're live.
JT, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Very proud of you to see that you're listening very carefully.
I'm listening this morning. I'm giving everybody, I'm all ears this morning, as I said in the intro.
Oh, that's good. I heard you talking about, a lady mentioned about fathers who don't take care of the children, and I think it's very important that fathers should take care of the children, and it's nice, especially when a father in a house. Mm-hmm. But one other thing too, we have to go back to the choices that women make, because some women have this thing about he's so cute and all these things, and especially guys coming from the diaspora, coming down and not me GT, I'm married, right?
I didn't say anything, sir.
A perfect example, GT. I had a friend that came down, he came down last year, and he met this girl. There's a girl that he always wanted to talk to. And the girl, he asked her, he said, do you live in it someone? She said, no, I ain't living it nobody, I live by myself. When he walked down about 2 blocks, somebody said, boy, don't talk to this girl living it a man. You understand? So certain choices, and then it's when the guys go down there and they leave. Whatever happened, and children end up in the process, some of them don't want to take care of the children. Not to say you could take them up here for child support because they don't live in Grenada and stuff like that. So I think these are the things that our women have to start making better choices, because when most of the guys and them leave the diaspora and come down for Carnival, Christmas, they come to have a good time, and stuff like that. Okay, another thing I want to speak about, I heard Mr. Rollo mention about $150 that was promised to give them. Mr. Rollo got to understand, $50 was put onto the 150 where they get in the 200, and I think it's fair enough. You understand? Because it was something, as Honorable Delma said, it was something that had an expiration date, and we had to thank the government for continuing it, So let us not jump into the 150. I know you're going to play that tape until the tape cannot play no more, and GT, I'm sorry for your ear, because you'll be the one listening to the 150. Or maybe I should talk to Andy take out Mr. Rollo and buy him something for that 150, and we don't have to eat no more.
Let's not go the distance. Let's not go the distance with that this morning. Let's not go the distance. All right, man. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend to come.
Same to you, my friend.
All right, man. Let's take our final caller on the program this morning. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Yes, I'm glad to be the final one. I have this issue about parents, or not only parents, but women and men not responsible, are not responsible for their children. Are we not aware of the fact that a man knows how to prevent himself from having a child with a woman, and a woman knows how to prevent herself from getting pregnant. What is wrong with us? Don't men know about condoms, and women know that they could get condoms and give to the men? Why are we not behaving like humans and then talking nonsense about responsibility? Good day.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your contribution. Hey, folks, that's when we take a wrap for this edition of To The Point for today. It's Friday, the 3rd of January. I want to thank everyone who contributed towards today's program. My apology once again to the Facebook comment section. I didn't get to read all of it, and I see there's lots of comments there this morning. I want to thank you for participating. Those of you via the WhatsApp also did get a few of the WhatsApp ones in this morning. So once again, thank everyone who contributed towards today's program. We'll be back next week in full swing. Should we have the various guests and so popping in on the program as of next week. And so join me again as we continue into the new year. Until then, have yourself a good one, folks. That's where we say goodbye for today.